The accommodation in Uganda here it really needs an effort, and that effort won't be taken by only government.
Real estate. So I think there are so many types of real estate. I cannot even exhaust them. But if you are willing to get started, the limit is
70% of Ugandans are considering investment as a key concept in their financial planning. 40% of the millennials have invested in real estate, 25% are in stocks, 15% are in agribusinesses. The Uganda's investment sector is expected to grow by 10% each and every year. Hi everyone, my name is Zuga Wycliffe. Welcome back to the Engineers Corner podcast. And if you're there, you're interested in real estate, getting more knowledge about real estate, getting more knowledge about construction, you're a beginner, you want to join real estate, this is the right place for you. Please follow, subscribe, and comment. And if you're in the diaspora, this is the right place for you. Please press that subscription button. You'll get a notification whenever we upload something new. Today, we want to talk of the baby steps for investment. And in the studio, we are back with our engineers.
My name is Akankwasa Haman, an architect with experience in interior design, landscaping, and all architecture designs. I'm super excited to be here again on the Engineers Corner. I know there is a lot we are going to share. You should be excited about this. This is going to transform you. Thank you.
Once again, my name is Timothy Simwe, one of the co-founders of Akbid Construction Consultants. I'm so humbled to be here again on Engineers Corner podcast. I'm really ready to deliver all I know about real estate so that someone there outside can really have something to learn and also be able to invest and enjoy the economies of scale of both our country and other countries in, so that there is real growth. I'm privileged to be again hosted here. Thank you so much.
Today's big question is, what are the baby steps for investing? For starting up to invest in any kind of business, may it be real estate, may it be any kind of business. What are the things that someone should do so as to start investing?
So basically, one thing we discussed in our last episode was return on investment. So if you probably want to have a return on investment, this is where you are investing some money and it comes or it increases in value. Business, real estate, or something that you want to increase in value could be a way you could go with. So I entirely believe that whoever wants to take on any business, he expects or he's focusing a return on investment. Because in a business to be a business, I don't think there's anyone who starts a business to make losses. And if there's one, I would like to see that person. But I would believe that someone would want a return on investment. So for you to go into any business, whether it is real estate, whether it is any agribusiness, like you have given us the statistics, I entirely believe that your ideal goal is to have a return on investment. That is what I would take for someone who is investing in any business as a beginner or starting. You want a return on investment.
When you talk about baby steps, it takes me somewhere like, now if I start to understand what baby steps are in real estate, you're beginning from zero, literally. So this goes to a person who is starting from zero. You're not having anything and you want to join real estate. I think in our previous episode we touched it a little, but as a continuation, one of the most important things to do when you're starting real estate is to acquire that knowledge. And then after acquiring that knowledge, if you're stuck now, for example, there are open channels that can welcome you into the real estate industry and you get jobs there. I can give an example. You can start being like a broker from zero. You don't need a registration. You don't need, there's nothing. Start, be a property broker, be a rental property broker, and this can start you up. So from that, it can drive you. You get commissions, you get what? So this gets you your initial. It can act as a ladder for you to continue. You go through the steps. There are steps there, but you have to start doing something. You have to first earn something. That's why I'm saying that if you don't have a job, start. The real estate channel is open, is open for many. But you just have to have a skill, and you start your baby steps in the channel of the real estate. Like I've told you, you can be a broker for property. You can sell properties and you get commission. You can do a bit of rent, or you get clients for landlords and they give you commission like that. Like that, you can build yourself that way.
Okay. There are very many sectors of investment. We've seen, we have agriculture, we have stocks, we have real estate. Now, engineer, for you, a good example. I know you've invested in real estate.
Yes.
And you're talking out of experience. What motivated you to invest in real estate other than other sectors?
First of all, as one of my partners has said, there are many opportunities in real estate where you can start from zero. That is why we are talking about the baby steps. Because the goal of everyone is to grow in a business and have return in investment. But in real estate, it is so wide that you have opportunities that you can start without any money. Most people confuse real estate with buying land, building a structure, putting it up, and they forget that real estate starts with even a farm. It starts with agriculture. It starts with flipping properties. It starts with selling rentals. It is part of real estate. Real estate is not where someone just gets involved in constructing a multi-billion structure. It is a very vast industry. So me, when I was investing in real estate, I saw an opportunity that real estate is so wide. I can buy a plot in a developing area, wait for some time, sell it when the value has increased. That's real estate. Yes. I could go and tell someone who is selling apartments that I can be your broker and look for people who can buy the apartments. Then I get commission. That's real estate. Yeah. I can start selling land for other people. That's real estate. No qualification, no studies, no certificate required, but just getting knowledge and you are able to start. So I saw that it is very easier to start in real estate than any other business because there are so many opportunities that are there which can grow your finances, which can help you grow, and you don't have any qualification that is required. So that's why it was very easier for me to invest in real estate and to have that knowledge because there was many opportunities that I could take that are available in the industry.
Investing in real estate is one of the things that can catch your mind if you're thinking of investing, because on the kind of economy we live in, there is a sure demand for real estate. It is an area whereby you know that if you invest there, definitely you will get clients. It's rare to find someone who has invested in real estate and they fail to get. It's on that. So the percentages of not getting a client or not getting accommodating people, mainly like in building, is not there. It is more sure. So I think what motivates me to go into real estate, one is the fact that it is the life I would want to live. It is a channel that can grow a person. There are very many examples, even internationally, that have really invested in real estate, and the rake down is not that much, and it is doable. So I find that one of the ways even to give back to community, one of the ways of if you have a heart that can help many people, one of the way that can connect you to those many people is solving those solutions. So I find real estate as a solution to our nation. We have cases of running short of like accommodation. The accommodation in Uganda here is it really needs an effort, and that effort won't be taken by only government. It is us who know about this, who can invest in real estate. So there is a huge gap that needs to be covered. So even knowing those percentages, even knowing those figures of, for example, how many people can afford, how many people are willing to enter into real estate, but they are scared. So when you get to know that kind of information, it opens up your mind, and you get to know that, okay, now this is also a channel I can invest in, and it is not difficult to engage in. Yes.
Yeah. So we've seen, engineer, you've said that it was very easy for you to start investing in real estate. Now, could you help us and share the few steps, the initial steps you took as you were starting up to invest?
So starting to invest in real estate is one of the best journeys you can go through, because real estate is a place you put your money and you are very assured that it has not gone in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
So what I did, like we are saying, I first built a business. I'm a hustler. Me, I have done businesses in mobile money. I've been in chapati. I've done border borders. You cannot tell me a story of not stealing a border border and I don't know.
In simple terms, we are true muiribi.
So I tried to do different businesses. Then I had to save money. So I usually tell people, if you're going into real estate, start with doing a business, because what you want is cash flow. Many people do not have a cash problem. Neither are they so poor, but they have a cash flow problem.
Yeah.
You find they have limited sources of income. Averagely in Africa, for you to make money, you must have at least 5 businesses. You start one business, grow another business, expand another business, then you have at least 5 bring in cash flow. So that if one is not working, another one is working, then you try to balance, which causes you to be a good manager. So I first improved my knowledge about business and management. That is step number 1. I had to study people as they were doing real estate on a global scale. People like Grant Cardone. I saw what he was doing in America, studied how he was flipping houses, how many units he had. Then later I came back to our economy of Uganda. So the top players who are doing real estate, like Sudhir Pereira, what was he investing in? What were his moves? So I started studying those people. Then I discovered that these people had some businesses where they would get some cash and they gather. Then after gathering capital, they go and first buy land. So it took me around 2 to 3 years to gather my first money. The first money I gathered was 4 million.
Wow.
When I gathered 4 million, everyone tells you when you get your first money, you should be able to buy land. So I went to look for brokers. Every property they took me to was near the swamp. So I moved with my 4 million. I remember it was in December. Every swamp area, a broker would convince you that on this river, you can put there your house. I went back. I was like, it's 4 million worth the plots I'm going to buy. They had no land titles. They were not very clear. Then I was reading one of the books about real estate. It said that if you get your first money and you are unable to get the real property you want, the first thing you have to do, reinvest in the business and yourself. So I went back and bought more books about real estate and added some money, around 3 million, into my business. Then I was doing mobile money. So I opened another branch in Chireka, had 2 of them, had border borders, added another one. Then I had to scale my company. I was doing architectural plans then, added their construction. Then after other 2 years, it's when I gathered, at the end of the year, that's when I had a profit of 15 million.
Wow.
So I went, got a good broker. I talked to my friend who had bought land. He showed me a good broker who became my friend, and they showed me a land of 15 million.
Wow.
So my first property was land of 15 million. By the day I paid that money, it's like I lost all the gold. Can you imagine buying land and they just give you a paper and an agreement?
You're broke.
I became broke again. I slept and I felt these people have stolen me. So what I would say, another thing is, after getting a business that has cash flow, learn how to save money, because good properties cost high amount of money. If you want a titled land in a good location, you must get at least some good money. Then get the right broker. Make sure your broker is the right person and is your friend. Because I remember that broker calling me in the evening saying, "Now, engineer, don't mind. First buy is like that. You lose money. Don't feel like we have stolen your money. You have the land title. It's what we give you."
Yes.
Like I left my land in Gayaza and came to sleep where I was renting. So it was dangerous for me.
Yeah.
So I bought that property. But from there, at least I bought property even more than 200 million.
Wow.
But now I got to know the real way of how I can invest in real estate from that first step. So those are some of the steps I went through when I was through the journey of real estate and investing in land and other properties. The truth is the journey was hard, and up to now it is still hard. Because every time you
Comes
pay for
harder.
a property, your money goes and you have to go again work and struggle, starting from zero. So that is how I had to learn to invest in real estate.
So, engineer, what were the initial steps that you took when you were starting to invest in?
For me, lucky enough, it is a career. Like I told you, I'm an architect. So my entry point into real estate is an introduction of what I was doing. For example, you do work and you get to know you've done work on this property and you have an entry there. And I'm not saying that this is for everyone. It's not for everyone that yours can be that way. But I can highlight steps that can help a person to enter into real estate. For example, like I told you, you're starting up. You've just starting up life, and you have this interest, or you've picked interest from what we are sharing, and you want to start. One of the main things is you have to be earning. Real estate is a journey. It will take you your money, finish it, and you have to learn how to make it. That's why I was encouraging that if someone needs to start, if you have nothing to do, get something to do. And if you are lost of ideas how to start, I can give you these ideas. Tomorrow, go and start. You be a broker.
Yes.
Engineer was saying he looked for brokers.
Yes.
Someone to start is going to look for brokers. And you're seated there. You be a broker. Just know your properties and start telling people about what you do, and be a broker. Being a broker can be two-way. You can be a broker for property. You sell properties. You can get some very good commission off that because people are offering 10%. Imagine you're a broker and you sell something like 500 M worth of a property. You have your 50 on you. You don't need any registration, no taxes, no. You get it? And then you can be a broker for rental spaces, whereby you get clients for landlords. They also give a commission of 10%. So in there, you're earning. You're earning. Engineer talked about saving. Earn and you're saving. This is a cycle. You need to, but now you've entered. Another thing you could do, you could do property management.
Yes.
These are steps you can do from zero. You start. If you find it very difficult, find some people who are doing it. They will advise you. They will advise you easily. So with property management, you're just managing these properties for people who are away. Many people are buying condominiums. They are not there. Many people have apartments. They are not in them. They need property managers. So maybe another one would be Airbnb. You're living in a very nice furnished apartment, and now you're asking yourself how you can enter real estate. Post that thing on Airbnb. Tomorrow you're going to get a client who will come and just want a bed in your space. People are very interested in that area also. And you can start earning. So before you know it, you have these many units. But it is all about the entry is there. It is all about you to now. I'm trying to open your mind to this, that you have an entry point. My entry point was my profession because I was exposed to that. But now imagine someone who is not an architect, you're not an interior designer, you're not a landscaper, you're not an engineer. How do you enter real estate? The channels are there. They are open for you. You just have to prepare yourself, make a bit of research, and then do the entry points I've explained to you. You never know. You may become the next big real estate person we have. But the entry points are open.
Now, there's a very, very big issue whereby people are saying that the return on investment of real estate is very low, whereby someone is saying, let me say you build a house or an apartment, but now you use, let me say around 700 million to build that apartment. Yes. It will take you almost 50 years for you to get that 700 million back. And most people now are saying, no, you know what, real estate is a bit hard because of its return on investment being low, and but you find most of these people who are investing in real estate, they are just also starting up with life, and these people need cash flow. What advice would you give to such a person who needs cash every time
on return on investment? I think now the approach matters. For example, if you're talking about return on investment, it depends on what is comfortable for you as a person when you're choosing to invest. For example, if I can paint for you one scenario that has two people. For example, we have built an apartment. You have built your apartment, I've built mine. We have spent the same amount of money. Now, if you're interested on return on investment that comes in real quick, there are ways you can do it. One of the ways is venturing into condominiums. There, you market, you even off plan. People can start paying. There are payment plans. There are financial services that help. Banks are also supporting that. So there is that way of doing it. You can sell off your units, even off paper. Once you do the right marketing, once you do the right steps and you go through the right steps, you can really have your return on investment quicker. Now, if you compare to a person who is like, me, I want my apartment to be mine. Yes. You get it? So there, that also controls your return on investment. If your apartment has 6 units, you're collecting rental income of about 1 M per unit. You have 6 M. So when you compare to how much will come in compared to what you've invested in, it will take a bit of time. The only difference between that will be between me and you would be that the approach I've taken and like even the risk I take, it also determines. So the approach I've taken would return my money faster, and maybe another person's approach, maybe they will be comfortable with it and they are safe. So I can't say that return on investment would be an issue. It is just the approach we take. Another person would stay with their apartments and furnish them, and then they rent furnished apartments. You who is collecting 1 M, if that same apartment you're collecting 1 M, if you furnish it, I'm very sure that the rental income can't be 1 M because you've added value to it. So I look at it that way. I basically look at it that way. So it is always in the channels we choose to receive our return on investment mainly.
Engineer, what would be your say about?
Basically on that, it has been a very big question on the table for many people about return on investment. Most people, especially those who are starting business, for them, they want to invest 1 million today and get 2 tomorrow. So that is the problem with most people when they start as in business. But business is not very easy. Most of the times, business is all about management. What is your level of management? When you ever see any business that is failing, the problem is management. Either there's more risk that is involved there, either the leadership there did not have proper vision, they didn't have proper studies, or there's something wrong in management of that business. So most people who go to real estate, they are keeping their money. That is the truth. You are going to find that most people are doing business. Who are doing business, they can manage. I usually ask those same people, if you say that if you invest 600 million and you want it in that year, if you bought buses, would you take the risk if it got an accident until all crashes in one day? So most people who invest in real estate, you are looking for a safe cap, whereby you are sure your apartments are there and there's less management.
Safe haven.
That is the safe haven of investing. You see your money there, it is buried there. So you have to be patient with any approach, as he has said, of how you are going to get the return on investment. Because now the rental income that is coming in is determined by many things. The location, the clients you are getting, their ability to pay. You see, there are so many factors that are there. The beauty with real estate, when you have done like rentals specifically, most of those people, they are just eyeing at monthly income, and the only person they employ is a cleaner and a fundy. But if you go to business, if you have seen other businesses, you employ a chain. There's marketing, there is product development, there is management. There are many things which are there. So if someone has low levels of management really, and he cannot handle the pressure that is in other businesses, I would say it is safer to invest in your real estate and wait for 10 or 20 years when your money is safe. But if you are good at business, take the risk. Go to manufacturing. Go and take on the competition. Be ready to suffer. Business is not easy. Then invest the money there so that you start taking the real process where money is checked on every product. But I would believe that I usually advise them, if you're not good on management, you are not in a country, you don't trust your business skills, don't risk in business. Real estate becomes a safe haven for you. But if you are good at business, then there are many opportunities. That's why you gave us the stats as we are starting. People in agriculture, you go and invest there. People are in stocks and they're making a lot of money. Go and invest there. If they hit all the money in one day, don't mind. That is part of the business. So that's my take on real estate. It is the safe haven of investment where you are sure of what you are putting, with that either sometimes less of the returns that you might meet until you have maybe enough properties and you enjoy the economies of scale.
Now, just realize some of us want to meet bulls.
Exactly.
Because engineer, we've talked of location and I've just thought of it. Someone is having rentals or apartments, let me say, in a very remote area, very far.
Yes.
And is expecting to get a return of, let me say, 20 millions per month.
Yes.
Which is very hard. So, which means also the location is a very, very, very key thing in while investing in real estate.
Yes. And the costs remains the same.
The same, yes.
So an apartment in a top area like Kololo could cost the same as an apartment in Gayaza.
Yes.
But the return on investment is different.
True.
So the other client who got land in Gayaza is going to complain, but the Kololo one is enjoying the economies of scale.
Yeah.
He's near the government officers. He can do any way he wants. He can sell apartments.
Yes.
That person is ahead of you. But now if you see the cost of the land in Kololo is also alarming compared to the money you had by the time you went to a deeper area. So that's the dynamic that is in real estate. So you have to sometimes agree and be ready to go with the game the way it is.
The way it is. True.
Yes.
So for someone who would want, let me say, to invest in town, a good example. What basis should this person or what basics should this person have so as to start investing in town, for example? I've seen people who have made groups, investment groups, whereby they make groups of 10 people and they maybe buy a plot of land in town and they invest in that. And I've seen others who make groups, they buy maybe apartments in town. What would be your say about such kind of investment in real estate? Is it feasible? Can someone else there do it? Like a group of 10 people? A good example, we have people in the diaspora. Yes, they are there. They get their money every month, 10 million. They're around 20 people. They get their 200 million. They can buy a plot of land, let me say, in Kololo or anywhere. Is it viable?
It is. It is, but not to a larger extent. If we come back to reality, it is a certain group that can manage to come up with a group and buy in Kampala, in the central. Investment clubs are a very good thing to venture in as for startups, because they will expose you to finances that you would have not got if you're an individual. So most of the time, I'm also in some clubs. I'm in like 4 investment clubs. So we collect money. The way we do, they help you to save. For those people who suffer a lot with saving, if you're in an investment club, you can save, and it will be easy to acquire land, which is very important if you're to start your own real estate. But like you are asking, if you scale down to the location, it is the ability of the members. If the members have good muscle, they can really come together and buy something in Kololo and do their own big thing together. And then for startups, this is to people who are like, okay, we are starting, you've just started working, you have these groups, and they are good. They are good. Instead of being in groups of hobbies, playing soccer, I'm not saying playing soccer is bad, but if these people had ideas and they come together and they start saving together, it would be easy for them to get land somewhere. Because for us, the youth, when you come to start to invest, you will discover that now the amount you can afford can determine the location where you can you get this amount you can earn can determine. If you're not earning big, maybe Kololo wouldn't be your thing. But in an investment club, maybe you could afford Gayaza. Maybe if you are alone, you can afford more than Gayaza. You go far. Kayunga and extend. Not even Nakwelo. You go. A plot in Nakwelo right now is like 60M. You get it? So your monies will push you further. Yet if you're together, if you're 100, if you're 50, if you're 20, and you collect this money, you can get good land somewhere. And you be patient, because what we know about land, the value grows. The value has to grow. The economies of scale will favor you that the value of that land would grow. So for groups, it is good, enter these groups and they would help you. And the muscle of the group will determine the location. And in doing all of this, you're starting a journey that may I believe that if you buy that side up, grow big that side so that you can afford to grow in town. You grow that way. So if I've bought land like far away from Gayaza, I have to add value that side where I've grown, so that I can afford maybe to buy in Kololo or to buy. And if I can't buy in Kololo, maybe land, at least I can buy a condominium apartment there and have an address there. But the perspective I'm showing you is that one of the ways that could help you start up, have a good muscle, is through those groups. Baganda say agali ewamu gegalume nyama. So you have to be having a bit of muscle behind you. So if you're doing it in investment clubs, and they do so well, at the end of the year, people right now, people are sharing monies. We are in December, people are sharing, they have been saving. But true. One of the things I can advise these people, don't just go and eat that money for Christmas, enjoy chicken and what. No. As a group, invest it somewhere. It could be a good decision for you that will introduce you to this world of real estate, and you can make it out there. I see it that way.
Engineer, how do you say it?
I'm also with him. I tentatively believe that if you're going to be successful as a beginner, because we are seeing baby steps.
Yes.
You are nowhere. I'm earning 200K per month. Actually, I've tried, got a visa, gone to Abu Dhabi, got now 800,000 per month. Maybe they've increased to 1 million. How do I get started in real estate? So one of the things, of course, is to have investment groups. You know, if you could have, I usually call it joint ventures. You as people who are in that group have the same vision. You have same direction. You believe in each other. You love each other, so that it is successful. You are not competing. Most people enter these groups and they start competing, and you find they are cracking down. But if you have the same vision, you say want don't enter the real estate. Because if you are like 10 people and each one earns 1 million and you are able to save it, meaning that at the end of the year, can at least raise 100 million. Do you say that you can get a good land or a plot somewhere if you have been able to invest that money there? In 2 or 3 years, it could grow, and maybe you put an apartment there or you put an arcade there. Then you start also enjoying the economies of scale of joint ventures. So for baby steps, that is one of the things really that can help you. If you could get a clique of people or a group of people who are willing to be there together, not only to bury each other. Also, you can work as a team and you invest in real estate. It could be one of the ways you start easily the journey of real estate. Because starting alone is not an easy game. Had to work for 4 years. Gathering money, eating it, again I gather. The first money was not enough. By the time I got the first plot, I had worked. I had even reduced in weight because I had no opportunity to get investment clubs. I had no opportunity to get people to encourage me. I had to scroll, do this business phase, do the other one. But if I had got an investment club, possible I would team up with them and would do it easier. So by the time I had to scale and know the business, now know how to flip it, knowing that I can buy land at low cost, add value, maybe I put a boundary wall. The one I bought 15, I set it at 40. It was late. I got the knowledge, but the time had gone. So that's how I would advise a baby person starting real estate.
Yeah, we've talked of joint ventures, and we are seeing the big economies in the world whereby they are having more joint ventures. But here, a good example in Uganda, we are having a few people who are doing that. What could be the problem really? Because sometimes I hear people say, there's a lot of betrayal, this one does this, the other one does, So how can someone now who is in a joint venture, how are they going to manage their real estate investment? So say big question.
Joint ventures, when you talk of joint ventures, even it's some amazing thing. Ugandans, we like to party. The energy we put in contributing to our friends' weddings, what it is. So those things we invest in. We love to party. We want to enjoy our monies. Yes, it's one of the things that is instilled deep in Ugandans. But now, when it comes to joint ventures in investment, I think someone has to choose people that have the same vision as they do. Not everyone will say that I want to do things this way. You get some people are still locked into the mind of study, get a job, do that. Then others, through the knowledge we have acquired, we have read, that now the things are different. It is not that way. So then others have been in an environment, for example, if someone is working in town in Chikubo, their approach is different. So I think when you select these people who have the same mind, they can speak the same language, it is easier. Rather than just getting excited, you say, oh, now these guys are talking about financial groups, let us make 1, 2, 3, 4, we can invest. No, get your guys that can understand the same language you're trying to speak. Because we have seen it not even only in real estate, but in many startups. People start when they are 2, but just because they didn't understand, they didn't have the same vision, they don't share anything in common, but they just have this one goal and say, people are talking about real estate, we can work together and do. So you find that when one gets more successful, the other is like, they feel uncomfortable. So that comes in, and I think it is an area as a nation we need to really understand how it works out. But at the stage we are at, I think once you get people who can share the same vision, who have the same like they want to go a certain direction. It becomes easy to take that direction. You don't have a lot of friction in making decisions. And be in a group whereby things are documented.
Yes.
Because these things,
documentation.
it is not enough to say, let us invest. No, let us make our agreement. Let us, the memorandum of understanding.
Yes.
Let our paperwork be there at such and such a stage. We are supposed to be here.
Yes.
Because it protects all of you.
Yes.
Rather, you've heard of people who have sent monies to people and they say their money has been taken. So you will find out that now maybe there's nothing protecting them. But as a group, once you have the same vision, you have things that protect you, you have the same mind, I believe that can be easier. That can be easier to engage in rather than engaging in a big group. Right now, you create a WhatsApp group, you add all your friends, you add all your hobbies and and you say you're starting a financial group. I can definitely tell you it will fail. It will definitely fail. It will not even, because this is a group of people and they have different ambitions. Some still are still enjoying partying. Some still have their problems. Some have rent issues. So mainly at maybe, let me say, at your workplace, look for those individuals you believe in and they believe in you. You can understand each other and agree, document this thing and start up. It would be easier. That would protect your joint ventures and those memorandums of understanding rather than the other direction.
Yes.
Engineer, what would you say about that?
Also me, the same issue. If you are going to start joint ventures, the reason why they fail is one friction of who is greater than the other. No Ugandans.
One is greater than two.
Everyone want to be on high of the other one.
Yes.
You want to be on low of the other one. But I intentionally believe that as a country, really, we have to learn how to love each other and we embrace the power in joint ventures. Because if you get people, you believe in each other, have the same vision. If you have chosen a leader, you believe in him. Also, he's also a serious leader, visionary. When he is not selfish, you can be able to really do something great. There are somewhere they have worked and there are somewhere they have failed. So we should not always go on the side they have failed. You could be one of the person who is going to pioneer the one that works, and we see from you. I tell people, be the first one. If they are not there, be the first. We are looking for people to learn at. You understand? So always, when you see something that's successful, I don't feel pity for anyone. I usually go to that person, talk to him, feel humble, and I say, how did it be successful? So I encourage that even those people who are working in diaspora, those who are working in Chikubo, those who are different institutions, you're in banking, we can document, make them valid ones, have terms and conditions, and do those joint ventures so that those who have failed can learn from you. Because I know they work. I told you 10 people saving 1 million per month, they make 100 a year. But you, with your 1 million, you make 10 million a year. Don't you see that there's a big margin? See, if I can get 10 people who partner with me and we gather 100 million, the next year we gather another 100 million, it makes sense. You know, in 5 years, you can have a capital of 500 million. That's $500 million. And now if it is an individual, that's magic. It is impossible to get to $500 million
After 100 years.
after 100 years, you see. But now you have lessened that. That is why I am on to those who would start and they be successful. You could be our pioneer and other people could buy. And those who have failed, it is not the last. Always try. Failing on something does not mean that's all.
It's a common thing whereby I've seen very many people saying, the biggest loss they've gotten in life, it is from a friend. Yes, it is from a friend. Now, for example, in real estate, someone says, I bought this piece of land from a friend. And, this friend yangu zampewo you know, some other one was like zinatoka waliko airport guy nandaga ekikuti yakyo chettaka that's land boat
Yes.
So in simple terms, what most of these people, what they are trying to say is how they trust these investment groups and what are the common mistakes that people really do make in real estate investment.
Let me start with the common mistakes people do.
Yes.
One of the common mistakes I see people doing is, like I told you, they don't document. They take them as normal conversations. They don't document it. The beauty with documenting or journaling, you're creating something.
Yes.
You can run back to it and say, okay, where did we go wrong? You can track your mistakes if you're documenting something.
That's true.
For example, there's an investment group I was in, and we had gathered some money, and now we had a question on mind: where can we invest?
Yes.
Some of the members were like, okay, let's go into farming. We do portrait, we do these birds and what. Then another member was like, no, you guys, let me paint a picture for you so that you understand that if we want to make money, we need to have a uniform spending appetite, like that. The risk, you need to risk, but you know. Some risks are controlled. Yet he saw that in agriculture, there are certain things you can't control. So he was like, now, if you invest in the birds and they don't work out, what next? If you invest in so may I think if something is documented well, someone can track and okay, if we made a mistake here, it was because of this and this and this. So it's one of the common mistakes they do. Another one is in selecting their leaders. If they select, for example, a leader emotionally, oh, this guy is good, he has been there, but he doesn't have a skill to lead you guys to the next level. Yeah, you get it. Normally we start with these groups and we are friends. You just select a leader out of impulse. They don't have any leadership skill. They can't prove they are not open, they are not what, but just because they are good, that is not enough to lead you guys. You get it?
Yes.
So I've seen a mistake where they select a leader who will not drive it to a level. So I think if these groups make intervals of leadership, say maybe per year, this person is leading us. If they don't perform well,
Sanja.
we have a chance of changing this person. And with leadership, someone has to be committed to the goals of the group. You're documenting, you know how much they have saved, you know how, because there are these small little extras that come in. People pick these small loans from members. Members pick loans from the collection of the group. So all these things, people have to be having a committee that can really work out. It is also a structure. So as a group, you have to build it and never make a mistake of appointing by impulse. It will bring you down. That's one of the mistakes. Then another mistake is trust.
Yes.
One of the biggest mistakes, even me have learned, is trusting. If you have chosen to trust, you just know you've chosen to risk. You get it?
Yes.
By trusting, I mean that, for example, if you're trusting an individual with all of this, so their decisions determine whether you're going to go forward or you're going to stay stagnant. So I think once people have policies that can guide them, for example, in investing, don't just trust anyone. Like you've said, people, they send bunnies, they are what, how to trust me. I'm not going to tell you how you can trust, but I'm just telling you, don't trust someone basing on impulse because they are nice or what. No, make a background check. If we lose this money, is this person able to pay it back? Do they have? If they don't have, how much can we risk with them? How much you get? Who is keeping our money? You get? Those are things we need to understand as a member. If it is a bank account, who is the signatory to that account? How many people are signatories? So such measures, they protect all of you. If you trust me and you put me in your group and you make me a final signatory because I'm born again, you get things can you get. I'm not saying I can do it, but I'm speaking for some people.
The demon can lie you.
Like you can overweigh people's money, but if we have signatories, I'll have to contact a signatory and say we need this money. What sign? You get it? So it protects all of us. Then another common mistake I've seen is investing wrongly. Sometimes the group collects money, and because you feel you've collected, you say you can invest in a place. So I think before investing, we need also to do like the same things we are talking about. Let us make the research. Let us get involved in people who have done these things. Let us study how they have done it, so that we get to know the cycle. There are many groups that are working out. I also know a group of course, my clients. These guys, at least every year, they build something big, very big in millions of dollars. But you see that they have a structure and a system, and the way they run it, they have a structure they follow. So I think some mistakes are avoidable. So you can avoid them.
Engineer, what are the common mistakes?
Thank you so much. I think I'm going to say that whatever I said is right, and I'm not going to compliment on that because he handled more about investment groups. I will tackle the second one, the individual ones. Individual mistakes for beginners in real estate. I think the first mistake people do in real estate, they don't know why they are joining there. The purpose. I tell everyone, why are you buying land? Like, this person is not clear. You find a client is fidgeting. I want to build my house. I want to do rentals. He has like 10 things he wants to do on the same piece of land he's looking for. So because he's not having a real purpose,
Should you call it excitement?
or excitement, like you have the money there as though you are stealing it. So I met this billionaire, is one of the great investors in real estate in our country. So he was telling me something that up to now I usually tell all my clients. When you have cash, you are the king. Never ever be there and panic. This broker who is telling you that land they are taking it tomorrow, tell him it is easy. Let them take it. I'm the king. So the clients I meet, they're like, the money is not theirs. He wants to raise it. So failing to have that purpose has pushed people to buy MPO. The land does not exist. And one of the culprits was my young brother. Got the money, has saved, I've taught him do business, everything he has got. The time of buying, it was a secret. He didn't know all the steps. He had not asked anyone. He didn't tell me I had bought land before him. I had seen the risks there. By the time they gave him, someone showed him a land title, but the owner of the land title was not in the country, even after paying. So by the time he chooses, the guy who was outside said, me, I didn't say they sell the land. You see? So these guys, they panic. Most of them panic. Because you are missing the purpose, now you go to panic. So what I would say, one of the things to avoid as you are starting real estate, when you have got the cash, don't panic. Make research. This billionaire told me that if you are going to get the right property, look for 10 of them and choose one. After 1 week. Don't panic. You're the king. You have your cash on your account. It is safe. It is safe. 2, when you're going to buy land, make sure you make a search. Land is not what you see enclosed. Land should have documents. Who is the owner? From who to who? You understand? What is the history of the land? Who is the chairman of the press? I saw some people on Entebbe Road who had created the chairman to sell their own land.
Wow.
So when you would come, you find the office, chairman, LC1 here. But he was a fake chairman. People were stolen on those estates.
Afere.
But Fere, very organized.
Wow.
Make research. You are the king. Kings make research. They don't panic. You have right of way. Tell the broker, I'm the king. Don't mind. It's my money. Let them take the land. I'll get the other one. That's not the only land that is there. You know, make research. Get the documents. No, make search. Then when you make search, there are precautions that you take. You know, you can talk to someone who has bought land. When you get the name on the land title, when I'm going to talk about anything that includes money, we introduce ourselves in land purchase by national IDs. Here me, Asimwe Timothy, willing to buy. The one who is there should say, here me, my ID, I'm the owner of the land. You understand? Then you verify the ID. You see how you have to be precautionary. It does not panic. So that at least in the conversation of purchase, the owner of the land is part. Most people, mistake number 3, overtrust the brokers. You know, you can be rich or poor because of your broker.
Wow.
The same way you can be rich or poor because of your lawyer. So the broker could be paid more money by the owner of the land. He tells him this land has got issues, but don't tell these people. He buys off the LC1. So a broker should be your friend. Avoid trusting brokers. This is an art of war. Avoid it as much as you can. He's not your brother. He's a businessman. He wants that commission. He doesn't want the land. He wants the commission. But you want the land, you have the purpose of it. So most people panic and they overtrust brokers. You know? So if you're a beginner, you're a baby person in real estate, I would prefer you use a broker you have ever used or a friend has ever used. He has a history. He has an address. He has a home. You know? So that is another mistake people make. Then another mistake people make, they are not sure how to pay the money. You know? Even if some people are selling real estate, they don't know. Someone can give you fake money. Usually say, if the land is genuine, it's mine, let's use bank transfers. You know? Someone carries 50 million, you have it in the bank, you are from Dubai, you are running around town looking for land. There's a lady they almost killed. You know, these thieves, they know they can see you and they see you uncomfortable. So don't pick the money out of the bank, let it be bank transfer, because you avoid that. You know, this person has got the land title, you have verified it from the right sources, then you have got a transfer, then you can transfer nowadays online, money from this account to this. People are there. Me, sometimes I have security. I have my own people representing me around there. He sends the transfer. He gives it to you. Don't wait. Go and transfer the land to ensure that the land title has come to your names. Check if it has a caveat. Check if it has any court issue so that you avoid buying fake land. So you must really research if you are going into real estate, because it is a big money game and people target anyone who wants to invest there. Starting from brokers, LC1, the big people, land is scarce. Then another thing you have to avoid as a baby starter in real estate, it is not all about return on investments. You know, I've seen people who want to go into real estate and the person starts with a very big house. You know, first know the type of real estate you want to go with. There are so many real estates which are cool. What if you just buy lands and you have like 10 pieces, leave them to increase in value, then you sell them later, then you build your house? Because you might have that cash and drop it in one plot, or they overvalue it. They come and lie you. There's a press where these brokers are funny. They team up. They're on Gayaza Road. And they say, this land, we are going to sell it 50 million. Whoever client that comes, we are going to sell it 50 million. But the client is selling it 20. So we call it a joint venture now of brokers to make money out of you. So you find you pay twice the price because you don't know the value of that press. You didn't make research. The press is worth 20 million. You're paying 50, twice the price. So as a beginner, you need to have more study. Don't panic when you're going into that. So that by the time you invest in real estate or invest in buying land, you really get the best and you get the value for your money. So that's the first step. you are not lost. Because many people have lost money on their first purchase and they have never gone back to real estate. So those are some of the few mistakes I've seen people do, and they have costed them a lot in their life.
This is to women. You know, women, when it comes to real estate, they get so emotional. At times, I have a friend. She was going to buy land, but she was given a certain piece of land somewhere, which was a bit far from the city. And now she was like, man, I can't buy that land. It is very far. I asked her, what do you mean by very far? And now that question, I pose it to you as people who have invested in real estate. When should someone say that, this land is very far, and from what?
You see, when someone says land is very far, I think their perspective is in distance.
Yes.
And I think this is on my personal point of view.
Yes.
Far for me is not distance. Let me show it to you this way. For example, we're in town, but someone could look at Entebbe Road as very far for them. They may look at Gayaza as very far. They may look at Mukono to be closer. But me, when you're talking about that distance, I look at it in time. How much time do I spend going to that place? If, for example, we know the jam of the city and what, you could spend, if the place I can spend 20 minutes to town, and it is far, if I can move from Gayaza to town in 30 minutes, and Mukono, that could be a bit of like 6 kilometers away, you spend an hour, I find Mukono very far away. You get it? So when someone is investing, I would paint that kind of picture for them. Compare these distances with time, with traffic, with routes. For example, if you're getting land in Nigeria for now, Nigeria Chiwatule side, that suburb, and the distance you're going to always take from your home, if you're building it that side to town, will take you 2 hours. And someone has got land, maybe they have got their property in Nakwelo, and they spend 30 minutes to town. I think we also need to think of that if you're defining how far is it from the business center. So me to ladies are very amazing, and there are very many ladies who are able to invest in real estate. So I think there should be a balance. Mainly, we are very lucky that in our country ladies are allowed to own. The laws allow you, you're free. You can work and own property. We have worked on many projects that are owned by ladies, and very big projects. So they shouldn't be scared of engaging, because like I said, the entry channels are so many to enter into real estate. So distance, you shouldn't look at distance in kilometers. Look at the time you spend to get to that place, because there are places that are very near that in real sense they are very far, just because of the time it takes you to prepare to come from there to maybe your workplace if you're working from town. So we shouldn't look at distance as the kilometers away. I think we should look at it in the time. As they say, time is money. If I spend less time, even if I'm coming from about 20 kilometers away, if I'm flying in, I can conduct business at a better pace than you who is very near and you come in very late. So I look at distance in terms of time, the time I spend from moving from one point to another. So I wish everyone looks at it that way. It would help you. It would help you save a lot. Because if you look at it that way, even it can determine how you're spending. That your investment decision is determined that way, because I would know if this place has a bit of jam, if I'm investing there, what can I invest there? Like engineer was saying, what vision do you have as you're going to invest? Mainly for the ladies, you can be there and you have your husband, and maybe your husband is comfortable with what they have, but you can tell your hand and tell him, you know what, boss, we can invest in this side.
Yes.
Yeah. You see, one of the ways to tell these gentlemen to invest, the husbands and what, you just make him king. These guys can invest.
Yes.
I can experience it in places where you see a lady come in and she's the driving force of an investment. There's a place where she helps the husband make that decision. I can give you an example of a client I had who had a very big vision of a certain plot of land that was in a center of a developing town. Of course, the client came, we designed these big malls and what. But now, the drift of COVID came in and it disturbed his business. So now his wife was like, no, instead of waiting for this big dream, let us do some commercials that we can get in. Yeah, so he calls me back and I tell him that is perfect.
Yes.
Do commercials. Your land is just there, no one is using it. Put those commercial shops there and and I think we built for him 7 units that the entire project cost him about 50 M to put to stand, and now it is working. So if the lady didn't engage, maybe right now the big man would still be looking for ways to do this very huge mall with a one-stop center or sort of. But when they did that decision, right now they have something that is bringing in income and it is moving on well. So ladies have a very big part they can play in real estate. Very big.
What would be your take on that?
How far affects also men, especially beginners.
No, the trend is mostly women. Who
Also
say, no, it is
men,
very far.
like if you are starting any business or you are going into real estate, many people usually consider the distance from where they are working or where they are staying to where they are buying a new place. And also it disturbed me a lot, because I was like, if I get money, my first property should be in Kororo. Because it is near, from Kororo to town, I can even foot. So the question of how far, I would say it starts with your ability, affordability. You are saying it is how far, how much do you have to reduce that further distance? Because the nearer you come, the more the costs. You have 20 million, you have to accept the far. Because now if you find the places like Nakwelo, places like Waga, places like maybe if you go to sides of Entebbe, those near places which look near and they are far for a beginner, they all cost 50 and above, 50 by 100. So a person saying how far, they cost first, Then too, this is the problem which has come actually. I usually advise people, if you are using a border as a means of transport, all the near places are going to be very far, That's why people argue, which car should I buy, a car or land? I've always answered that, buy both, Just say this year I'm going to buy a car, next year land. You need both.
Which one first?
You need both. Don't say which one first. You need both, A car drive makes a place look nearer,
Exactly.
So usually, like I said, we calculate the distance. I can drive from Nakwero to town, so long as I've woken up early, and I reach very fast than someone who is actually Naguru, So now, but using a border from Nakwero to town, you can feel that, do that,
It takes longer.
It takes longer,
Even the risk.
And so the risk that is involved. So for someone who's still doing some business in Chukwu and they're using a border and that purpose, you're putting a home in Nakwero, it becomes a bit hard, So it looks far. But yet it is a good place for maybe residents, for someone driving. Then another thing I usually tell people about how far is the purpose of the land. Every town that is developing has got a rich person there in that town. They don't give the value of that place based on you who is coming. That person is there and the developments taking place are the one that make the place valuable. It has electricity, it has got water, they are proposing a tarmac. You go to Nakuru and you find a plot on land which is 200 million, and you come back in Kololo, you find another plot 200 million. The value there is because of what the future is going to look like, you know? So most of the time, what you are calling far, just know what's the nearest town of that place. Yeah? I did rentals for a client in Dubai, which we are handing over, but he put them in Mukono. It looks far if you are from town. But when he brought the idea, I told him the clients we are targeting are not from town. They're actually people working in banks in Mukono.
Yeah.
And all the rentals are taken, and the rent is 500,000 per month. But me who's staying in Gayaza, actually, I'm paying almost the same money. Why? His far, you might call far, is near a big town, which is Mukono.
Yeah.
What I call near, to me, there's no nearby town that can compete with the rentals in those places. That's what we are talking about on return on investment. That you have to be keen and be clear on your vision, the location, and your affordability before you complain. Because otherwise, you are going to limit yourself on real estate because of some of those limits you are creating of far, how much, and how can I be nearer, yet you can't afford. That's what I would advise that lady or any person of how far.
As for me, I don't think if you're investing in real estate, you would have any place that is very far. Because now this one takes us to a question whereby we are asking ourselves, what are the different types of real estate investment? Because I think there are various investments that you could maybe put on that piece of land, the one you're calling far.
Yeah.
And I would want engineer to break it down. What are the different types of real estate investments?
Types of real estate. Real estate is a big industry, like we said.
Yeah.
Now, there are basics. A beginner, you know? Like I told you in the beginning, have a business, gather money, save, buy land. The first one, because you want return on investment, you can add some value on that land and wait for it to increase value. You sometimes call it flipping. Me, I usually buy land when it is less. Then I just put the boundary wall. Then I sell it when it has water, you know, when it has electricity nearby, I put those ones. Then I have added value. So I brought water, added the boundary wall, and now I maybe bought it like 15 million, use like 5 to do that. Then I sell it 40. I wait for like 3 people to build there. You know, you buy less, add value, then you sell high. You know, then after that, there's another type of real estate, rentals, the most common one. It's one of them. You're targeting monthly income. Then we go to condominiums. There, like he said, you sell each condominium. That one actually brings all your money as fast as people can buy. You understand? You want return on investment, and it's very quick. Then you can list them for maybe on those apps for real estate. You rent them out. You want that cash flow. Then you go higher. You know, there are those rentals which act as hotels. We have seen one of the richest people do them here. Speak apartments. You have seen them. Down it's a hotel. It has a swimming pool. People enjoy there. Then after you go and hire a room up, you know. But they're still apartments. Cash flow. Then you can go higher. They are what we call industrial parks, whereby you do warehouses. You rent them to manufacturers. It's another good business. There's a lot of there we go to arcades. It's also real estate. You rent out space. Then you can be now wiser, like people do in Ichikubo. You got a finished arcade, book a certain space, you sub-rent it other people for business. That's why we said real estate has a lot. Then there is where you be a broker. It's also part of real estate. For you look for people who invest, you tell them, me, I will sell your property, and you give me a commission. You are there. There's what you call agents, where you are representing a client, you know? So there are so many. There's what we call a real estate management. You wait for people to build their apartments, and for you come and say, I'll take over this real estate or this apartment, look for clients, me, I will pay all the year, and I take all the rest. That is real estate management. So also it is part of real estate. So there is a lot. There's also land. You can go hire land and you put there your crops and do everything. It is still real estate. You know, you can go and lease land and put there trees. It is still all real estate. So I think there are so many types of real estate. I cannot even exhaust them. But if you are willing to get started, the limit is your mind.
Like he has said, yeah, he has explained it very well. Maybe I can just clarify it into 3 groups. And you have real estate mainly like in construction. You have real estate that covers residential.
Yes.
The residential you're providing where people can stay and what. And under residential, you have your residence, maybe you have apartments, maybe you know that you have you provide for that. Then we have what we would classify as commercial. Here you have business spaces. Business spaces where someone can come and rent and pay income. Some of the examples are kids. And you have seen growing suburbs catch up on commercials so much. What happened after COVID? Many people realized that now the rent that was so high in town, they could service the same clients when they get rental spaces in places that are near town. So we saw a boost in growth in the real estate, whereby many people started investing in commercial. Another area would be classified as the industrial. Now, this is where you find warehouses, the big warehouses, whereby you have a rental space where people do storage, they do manufacturing in there. So that is also another area within real estate. That space is also an area to look at. So like engineer was saying, they are classified in those 3 to me. You have the residential, the commercial, and industrial. I would take the types in that kind of qualification. So it would be good for someone to look at it that way, so that it is easy for you to make a decision. Do I invest in residential? Do I do commercial? Do I do industrial? All of these have their different rates, and like we were talking about return on investment. Yeah, they have different ones. So we need to make research and know now, where am I interested in? Compare and see how is the commercial. Of course, for commercial, we'll find maybe the land cost is high in a nice place.
Yes.
But now when your investment returns come in so fast.
Yes.
Yeah, for residential, we have been exploring about it. For industrial, is also it's also about the location and where the land. Most of the time, we have seen in Uganda here, warehouses, industrial parks are growing up.
Yes.
And companies are really taking up these spaces. And I think it is an area that is also going to grow and boost our economy, because if we have more people interested in investing in these industrial parks, they're increasing production, they are employing more people, and the more that happens, the more it brings back into the real estate industry. So it is basically classified like that.
I think we have a lot to discuss, but for today's session, I think that is enough. And if you missed the last episode, please check in the link. You will find it there. Please share, like, and comment. If you've gotten any ideas or any question that you'd like us to discuss next time, please leave it in the comment section. We are there. We shall read it and get back to you. Thank you.